This is how to wire a car radio. The full head unit harness on one diagram. 2 power wires. 1 ground. A blue trigger for an amp. And 4 speaker pairs, each with a plus and a minus. It looks like a spaghetti of colors. It is not. Every wire has a known color and one job. Let me rewind and take them one at a time. So what is a head unit harness, really? It is just a color-coded plug. The radio has a block of wires hanging off the back, and every color means the same thing across almost every aftermarket unit. 2 of them are power. One is always live, straight off the battery. The other only wakes up when you turn the key. 1 is ground, the return path back to bare metal. And the rest are your speakers, in pairs, each with its own plus and minus. Learn the colors once, and you never have to guess again. No coaching, no probing, no crossed fingers. One quick note before we go on. Everything I draw here is in a free browser editor. No install, no sign up. It is at CircuitDiagramMaker.app, and the link is in the description. Open it and draw along. Start with power, because power is where people get it wrong. There are 2 live wires, and they are not the same. The yellow wire is constant 12 volts. It runs straight from the battery, and it never switches off. That is what keeps the clock ticking and your presets saved while the car sleeps. The red wire is switched 12 volts, the accessory, or ACC, wire. It only goes live when the key is in the on or accessory position. That is what actually powers the radio up and shuts it down. Then the black wire is ground. It carries the current back, and it must land on clean, bare metal, not a painted bolt, not a rusty bracket. Here is the rule that saves you a service call. Yellow stays live. Red follows the key. Swap those 2, and the radio forgets every station the moment you switch off. 2 more small wires, and they're easy to mix up. The orange wire is illumination, the dimmer. Tie it to your headlight switch, and the display dims at night with the rest of the dash. It is optional. The radio plays fine without it. The blue wire is the remote turn-on. This one is clever. It carries almost no current. It is just a signal. When a radio powers up, it sends 12 volts down the blue wire to tell an amplifier or a powered antenna to switch on with it. When you shut the radio off, the amp goes to sleep too. Do not confuse blue with the blue and white striped wire. That striped one is the same idea, aimed at an external amp. Now the speakers. And this is where a clean diagram really earns its keep. A car head unit drives 4 speakers, front left, front right, rear left, and rear right. Each speaker gets 2 wires, a positive and a negative. That is 8 speaker wires in total, in 4 pairs. 2 rules, and both matter. First, never ground a speaker negative. Every minus wire runs all the way back to the radio on its own wire. On a lot of head units, grounding a speaker negative can damage the amplifier inside. Second, polarity matters. If you flip the plus and minus on one speaker, its cone pushes while the others pull. The bass cancels out, and everything sounds thin and hollow. So keep every pair straight. Plus to plus, minus to minus, all 4. Here is the part that makes this painless, the aftermarket harness adapter. You do not have to cut into your car's factory wiring at all. You buy an adapter made for your exact vehicle. One end clips straight into the car's original radio plug. The other end is a set of loose, color-coded wires. Now the job is simple. You match the adapter's colors to the new radio's colors. Yellow to yellow, red to red, black to black, and the 4 speaker pairs across. Crimp or solder each joint and clip it in. The factory loom stays completely untouched. If you ever sell the car, you unplug the adapter and the original radio drops right back in. Want it louder? Adding an amplifier changes almost nothing about what we just covered. The amp does not draw its power through the head unit. It runs its own thick positive cable straight from the battery, with a fuse near the terminal and its own ground. From the radio, the amp needs just 2 things. A low-level signal, usually a pair of RCA cables out of the back, and that blue remote wire, so the amp switches on and off with the radio. Then the amp drives the speakers or subwoofer with far more muscle than the little chip inside the radio ever could. Same color logic, bigger wires. Here's a real car stereo wiring diagram, open straight in the editor. Everything we covered is on one sheet. the 12-volt battery, an alternator on the left, through the fuse to the head unit in the middle, the antenna up top, the chassis ground at the bottom, and the front speakers fanning out to the right. Follow any wire end to end. That is what a clean drawing gives you. Now, let us lay a small one out from scratch. Blank canvas. I search the symbol library and tap parts onto the grid. A breaker standing in for the fuse. A box standing in for the head unit. A light fixture standing in for a speaker. And a ground. These come from the free do-it-yourself pack the guest editor gives you. The dedicated car audio symbols sit on the paid tier, but these shapes are enough to lay out the idea. Then the wires. Press W, click one pin, click the next, and the wire snaps in with square corners. Move apart, and every wire follows it. When the drawing is done, it has to leave the screen. One click opens the export menu. PNG is free, good enough to drop into a forum post or a group chat with whoever is helping you fit it. Vector formats, PDF, SVG, and DXF sit on the paid plans. That is the honest business model, said plainly. This tool is ours. For clean, shareable wiring drawings you can mark up and hand off, it is genuinely good and free to start. One quick fault to know, because it is the most common one. If your radio keeps forgetting its presets, the clock resets, and the stations vanish every time you switch off, you have swapped the yellow and red wires. The memory wire is running through the key instead of straight to the battery. The fix is a 2-minute swap. Yellow to the always live 12 volts. Red to the switched accessory feed. And if there is no sound at all, check the ground first. A loose ground kills everything. So that is a car radio, wire by wire. Yellow is always live 12 volts for the memory. Red is switched, on with the key. Black is ground. Blue is your remote turn on. And the 4 speaker pairs go plus to plus, never ground and negative. Open the free editor and lay out your own harness. It is at CircuitDiagramMaker app. No install, no card. Subscribe for a new wiring video every week. See you in the next one.